So I was lucky enough to be able to head out with the X-E5 for the day yesterday. I went over to Regent's Park in London I thought it would be a really good place to put this to the test. An absolutely superb little bit of kit. Fujifilm, obviously, when they started with the X series of cameras, the X100 was first, followed by the X Pro 1. So that rangefinder style has always been essential and core to Fujifilm. The X-E was always a bit of a budget version, a bit more of an entry-level version or a wallet-friendly version. And that's always been the case. And it's always been a well-liked camera, but never really broken through. But with the X-E5, Fujifilm have really listened to feedback from the customers and users, and they've taken this to a whole nother level. This is a really premium product. So yesterday, when I was out shooting with it, it really felt like I was using like the X100 It has definitely a similar feel in terms of build quality. I absolutely love the little film selection dial on the top. It's really nice to look at, easy to use, and really quick to switch on the fly. The buttons and controls were all exactly where I'd expect them to be. Being a Fujifilm camera, it all felt familiar, but it definitely feels a big step up in terms of quality of the build. Also, things like you've got a rotating screen, which is awesome, which are great for selfies. No other Fujifilm camera that I know of does this, which is a really nice addition. But also in terms of image quality, that's what really set this apart for me. This shares the sensor and the processor with the X-T5 and the X-H2, cameras like that. So you've got over 40 megapixels of resolution. That means this thing is an absolute beast for taking pictures. And you've even got a built-in teleconverter. So using this beautiful 23mm lens that's also coming out as part of the kit, you can punch in with a 1.4 times crop or a 2 times crop without much loss of quality, which I used extensively yesterday. So it allows you to have this small, compact walk-around solution. So it was just ideal for walking around London and getting shots yesterday. So in use, I found the autofocus to be awesome on this camera, and it really reminded me of the autofocus on the X-T5, the X-H2. It also compares to the focus on the X100 6, but it definitely felt slightly sharper, particularly when picking up things like the animal detection. So I had my dog with me, put it on animal detection, it was just snapping onto him all the time. So I definitely feel, although on paper it has the same, it felt very responsive, very quick. I certainly was not disappointed at any point. This camera does not have any weather sealing built into it. However, the construction quality is so high that I don't think the occasional splash or bit of dust is going to cause you too many problems. But it is something that you're going to have to be careful of, mindful of when you're using this. Perhaps we will see something like this with full weather sealing come on maybe a future X Pro, but who knows. In terms of size and weight, it feels a little larger in size, definitely feels a bit heavier, but in a good way. This feels like an absolute premium grade A piece of kit. So, I mean, I can't emphasize the step up in quality from an X-E4 to this. The difference is massive. This very much reminds me of an X100 6 and even something like the GFX 100 RF that I used recently. It has that kind of feel to it. So yeah, top draw bit of kit. So yeah, there's definitely some features which improve the kind of quality of life and usability of this camera. One of which is definitely this film indication window at the top with the film selection dial. Really, really lovely feature to use as you're walking around. Being able to switch between the big ones like Classic Chrome and Reala Ace at just the touch of a button is lovely. Also, you can put your film simulation recipe straight into this on a custom setting, which is a really big step forward too. Also, there are some other premium features which I love, including in the EVF, you can set this the display to a classic display. So that takes the modern graphics and replaces them with kind of a really kind of 80s retro red LED LCD kind of lettering at the bottom, and then at the top you've got a proper, on the side, sorry, you have a needle indication for exposure, plus and minus, rather like you'd get in an old film camera. Really makes the usability of this camera a lot higher. I mean, obviously, as I've mentioned, this is a big step up in terms of the actual production quality, but I guess the biggest premium feature is this new machined aluminium top plate rather than a pressed and stamped one that we got on the older models. All of the buttons really are very positive and click very solidly, very, very reassuring to use. But it also comes with a very nice premium accessory, which is this rather fetching rope strap. So if, like me, you're convinced and you're ready to make this your next camera, head over to castlecameras.co.uk, pop your pre-order in now to receive one from our first delivery. It's available for 1299 body only or 1549 with this beautiful little kit lens, which I advise you do, because when this kit lens is released on its own in November, it's going to be 399. So buy it as a kit, pre-order yours today. We'll see you again soon.